much for coming. On a weekday, I know it's hard sometimes to manage, but when we talk about our loved ones, and I'm talking about our lovely MPPs who are here, our honorable MPPs, first of all, a big round of applause for a wonderful victory. Our future Prime Minister, Mr. Patrick Brown.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to say a few words. And let me say, first of all, the Canada-Pakistan narrative, thank you for being a force for good in our community. The work you've done on highlighting the challenges with Islamophobia is beautiful. So just want to give a hand to the great work you do in our community across the country. A hand for the Canada-Pakistan narrative. It's also great to be here in the midst of the Consul General, a great friend to Peel Region, and thank you for every time there's an event in the community, you're there. So sometimes I see him 5 times, 7 times a weekend, so I don't know how you find the time, but clearly you are a friend to our region, and thank you for your dedication. I also wanted to acknowledge, I know tonight is about celebrating the recent election victories, and I want to acknowledge my friends here who had spectacular victories. I see Minister Khalid Rashid, an example in the community. And here's an example of someone who got involved in the political process and had one of the most senior roles in the government during COVID-19, dealing with the digital infrastructure. And that started with activism. I see Sharif Sabawi, who's clearly been knocking on a lot of doors because he looks skinnier every time I see him. I'm jealous. But Sharif is incredibly dedicated, and my friend Deepak Anand, same thing. These two work tirelessly, and I can tell because not only are they supporting charity events and great causes in Mississauga, I see them all the time in Brampton supporting charitable causes in our city too. And so it's like a 2-for-1. You get advocates for multiple areas in the province helping in a very special way. When I thought of the theme of this night, celebrating the victory, but also encouraging the community to be involved, what a beautiful message. And obviously there's a very large Pakistani Canadian community in Mississauga that helped propel you to success. And I saw that in Brampton, which was a sea of blue as well. But by being involved in the political process, you have a say. You're at the table. You're not the menu, you're at the table. The fact that these MPPs are here tonight, I think speaks to the fact how much respect they have for the Canada-Pakistan narrative. And that speaks volumes. And I should note, Urs here is here as well. Now, Urs left my office. I'm a little sad about this. She's gone to work at Ryerson University. But, Urs is an example. She has been passionately involved in the political process. And I still remember her speaking at a political party convention about what it meant to be a Muslim woman from Pakistan involved in politics. And she gave this incredibly passionate speech. And it moved me to the point I went over to her and said, thank you for speaking in such a beautiful fashion. But there's an example of someone who got involved and in a very tangible way has contributed to her community in the city of Brampton. And I look at some friends here today, many friends here who have been equally involved as I look around, and I think that's spectacular. The strength of a democracy is participation. The strength of a democracy is citizens who care, and I think it's not only advantageous to Canada and Ontario and Peel Region, but it's advantageous to the Pakistani Canadian community by getting involved because it really gives the community a larger voice. And so I wanted to come today as a friend to the community to applaud your efforts, not to give any political speeches, come to applaud your efforts and to say thank you for the work you do in our community, your friendship, and know that you've got a growing number of individuals and public servants that are eager to be your ambassadors. And we've been saying for a while that we need to get a trip to Pakistan. Now I've been twice to Pakistan, and Urs, before COVID, was actually organizing a City of Brampton trip. And then COVID changed everything and there wasn't travel, but believe it or not, there is an ice hockey game once a year. in Pakistan, up in the mountains. Where was it again? And so, surprise, surprise, me, I got all of a sudden very interested. I'm like, girls, we're going to go to that game. And but I do hope now that COVID is largely behind us that we'll be able to organize a trip where those interested in building upon the beautiful friendship between Pakistan and Canada and Ontario, that we'll be able to put some efforts back into that work, and maybe it's something the Canada-Pakistan narrative to be part of. And I'd be remiss before I finish just to recognize Baba, because if there's ever an example of someone who's involved, Sharif, he has more photos than you. An example of pride in community, and I just think we're so fortunate to have this beautiful community in Peel Region, in Mississauga, Brampton, and Canada. And thank you for the invitation to join you tonight.
Thank you. Talking about none other than the great Deepak Anand from Mississauga Mountain.
बहुत अच्छा लगता है कोई भाई प्रेज करे अरुणा के सामने मेरी, नहीं तो सबसे ज्यादा तकलीफ तो यही होती है। आप सबका बहुत 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 शुक्रिया। हम all six of us, 6 के 6 MPP, बहुत शुक्रगुजार हैं आप लोगों के। And I don't have to say it alone, but it really means it. आज के दिन 6 MPP आपके कर्जदार हैं for all your support, all your help. So thank you, शुक्रिया for doing this. कई बार उर्दू हो जाती, कई बार हिंदी हो जाती है, तो क्या करूं? सब चलता है। तो मेरा भाई हमेशा कहा करता है कि आपकी जिंदगी में बहुत बार ऐसी सिचुएशन आती है कि आप पानी के अंदर हो और आपके पास सिर्फ 5 मिनट है, आप हाथ बाहर निकालें और अगर आपको 2 नाम उस समय याद आते हैं तो आप फेल हो गए। You only have 5 minutes to survive and you have to call one and only one person. But to call that person, it takes forever to decide who you're going to call at the time of need. So I have to say this, proudly I have to say, जब मुझे कैंपेन के समय बहुत बार ज़रूरत पड़ी, फॉर एन एग्जाम्पल जब हमने कैंपेन ऑफिस खोलना था, ऑल ऑफ ए सडन जो हमारा फोटोग्राफर था, कैमरामैन था, उसको कोविड हो गया तो वो नहीं आ सकता था। In less than 4 hours, we had to decide who should we ask. So we took the hand out, and who did we call? We called Canadian Pakistan Narrative for being there. अगर आपने वो वीडियो देखा हो हमारे ऑफिस ओपनिंग का और उसके बाद आपने G9 पे भी चला, बाकी न्यूज़ चैनल्स पे भी जो चला था, वो एक्चुअली किसी और का नहीं था, शहजान भाई ने बनाया था। तो बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका। This is one example. This is just one example I wanted to share. But again, मुझे पता है कि आज हम यहाँ स्पीचेस या रिमार्क्स के लिए नहीं इकट्ठे हुए हैं, हम यहाँ इकट्ठे हुए हैं सेलिब्रेशन के लिए। तो सेलिब्रेशन, let's celebrate. But before we celebrate, I just want to thank each one of you. You are a family, and that is an example why my family, my wife is with me here too as well. So बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया हमें अडॉप्ट करने के लिए।
Thank you so much, Deepak Anand, for an amazing speech.
So talking about Canadian Pakistani narrative, Canadian Pakistani narrative is the first official lobby of Pakistan here in Canada. And lobby means that the only one so far, and we are definitely looking forward to have more people to jump into this. So lobby का काम क्या है? What is the functionality of the lobby? It is a kind of a brainchild which was discussed among the friends, and again it is a brainchild of my dear friend, big brother Atar Aryan, who has been serving community for so many years. So I would like to invite him and request him to say something about this Canadian Pakistani narrative. What was the purpose? We all know the purpose, but what was the need for this lobby?
Right, sure. Thank you for everyone. आप लोग आए यहाँ पे I'm really excited to see all my friends here. माशाल्लाह से और बहुत सारे लोग हैं जिनको हम जानते हैं यहाँ पे they're associate. But one thing I'm really proud to say कि यहाँ जितने भी लोग बैठे, these were the first people who came in my mind when we talked about this celebration. So thank you all for coming, because I can count on you guys, not just as friends, not as somebody who I can go party with or we can have like chills or coffees or whatever, but somebody we can call upon. And we all know that when it comes to the Conservative Party of Canada, may it be provincial, may it be federal, we do have reservations. And we do need our people to come forward. So why are we celebrating this victory here? The reason is to celebrate the PC Party's victory, just to honor the Canadians of Pakistani origin who have worked tremendously and extremely hard to make sure that this victory happens. So I want to thank you all, because I know all of you guys have played your role in one way or another in different ridings across the Ontario to make sure that PC Party gets this anonymous win. So thank you all for doing that. Really appreciate that. Second thing is that we usually try to get big crowds. So it's not about having a crowd, it's about having quality. It's about having people who are actually playing their role in the community and helping us grow in a political party. So being part of a Conservative Party, having so many people from Pakistani origin, is just to show to the other people from the community that we are growing well in other political parties too. And now we have a better strength and we're getting stronger day in by day. And there's no party which we can say is not a good party. ये पार्टी हमारी एनिमी है, because the way I see जितनी भी यहाँ पे political parties हैं Canada में, I had an opportunity to work with all of them, and they all want the betterment of this country and the people here. सबका तरीका अलग है, मतलब every party has their own way of doing things, but we cannot say that one party is better than the other. So I'm happy to see कि हमारे इतने सारे लोग अब Conservative Party की तरफ आ रहे हैं. When I joined a good 4 years back, it was a very big taboo when Khalid was there, when Deepak started, when Shahid Bhai was there. And that's what I said. A lot of people told me, why Conservative Party? And I'm like, you know what? If you're not on the table, we will be on the menu. So this is the time we get on the table. This is the time we get on the table where we make decisions. And where we have friends like Deepak and Sheriff and Khalid and many others, where we can discuss our issues. So today we're here to honor all of you guys who won, to honor all the Canadian and Pakistani origin people who have played the crucial role in their winning, to remind you guys that, if you make any amendments in current regulations, or if you make any future regulations, just keep it in mind that Canadians of Pakistani origin have put their blood and sweat and finances and worth in your success. So please do not ignore us. Please do not forget us. We are here to assure you that we will be with you in many more terms. We want to make sure that you guys win, and we stand with you financially, physically, manually, however, and whichever we can do. But be sensitive to our culture, to our religion, and we do not expect anything special for being Pakistani or ethnic minority. We just want to make sure that you guys feed us and any other community as it exists here. So no more systemic racism, right? No more biases. And we make sure that we stand equally with each and every community, because as being a Canadian Pakistani origin, having a Canadian Pakistani narrative, the purpose for this organization is not to collect funds. We're not charity. We don't do funds. We're not a religious organization. The only thing, the reason we are standing here, just to make sure that the Canadian or Pakistani have an equal opportunity in the fabric of Canada, that we do get an equal opportunity in all political parties, such as yours. So we get equal opportunity when there are hirings happening. We get an equal opportunity when our kids go to school, when they go to university, they get a better cause. And that's why we're here. We're not here only to represent. Some people do ask me at times that, your name has Canadian Pakistani narrative, so you guys are very Pakistani. Why do you have non-Pakistani friends? I'm like, it's not about having a Pakistani or non-Pakistani friend. It's about having friends who are friends of Pakistani community. Right? So religion doesn't matter in this organization. Ethnicity doesn't matter. We just believe in humanity and equal rights for everybody, and we want to stand with you to make sure that whatever you want to achieve for any other community, we are there with you. And we just hope that you guys will stand with us. Thank you for being here.
मैं तो जज्बाती हो गई, इतनी जबरदस्त स्पीच. मैं definitely इसके कुछ pointers रखने वाली हूँ अपने पास ताकि मैं उनको use कर सकूँ next time.
So thank you very much for inviting us to this event here. And of course, I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone, and especially me, because in my writing, the race was a little bit more intense, I would say. And, the candidates are running from the Pakistani community, so that's an extra honor for me that I own or got your trust. And that's mean a lot to me. And in regards to lobbying, I don't think it's too bad to say we are here to lobby for the Pakistani community. There's nothing wrong with that. Because lobbying is people who believe in a specific cause, and the whole purpose of that activity is that cause of that. So it's a noble cause, it's a good cause, it's a community cause, serving the community, filling in a space. And again, like I understand that Khalid is from the Pakistani community, but he have responsibilities as well towards the party, towards the government, towards his position that might sometimes limit him from doing things. The lobbyist is different. The lobbyist is his job is to lobby. So it's acceptable that they go the 9 miles for their cause. When some of the officials like me or Khalid or Dibak might not have that freedom because they have other constraints. He can't speak to all the time about the Pakistani community because he's not only MPP for the Pakistani community, he's MPP for everyone. So he can't speak about the community all the time. Otherwise, his constituents might get upset saying, are you our MPP or just a Pakistani MPP? But when you have a lobbyist whose job is to speak about the Pakistani community, nobody can say, why they speak about the Pakistani community? Actually, their name is Canadian Pakistani Narrative. Like, that's their job to do that. So this is an important role you are playing. And of course, you help the politicians like us to raise the flag or say, we received a request from this organization talking about this issue. And so you are helping us to raise the issue for a reason. But again, like there's nothing wrong. And again, I'm saying that there's nothing wrong to say we are looking for the Pakistani community. You can stand with other communities and their causes, but your mandate is the Pakistani community. So congratulations for that. It's needed. But other than that, we promise, we are all promised here, and I promise that even when I was still running for nomination, to be your voice. Like whenever some request came to me from the Pakistani community, either for a cause or for an event or for an issue or for a bad incident, good incident, I tried my best to be there. I can't remember even any time I got a call and I didn't manage to work it out. So thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for inviting us. And it means a lot to us. And it means to us.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening, everyone. Thank you so much to the Canadian Pakistan Narrative for having all of us here. First of all, Aryan, thank you so much. Nadia, thank you so much. Rana, thank you so much for bringing our past into the present. Shazan, keep up the great work. Thank you so much for everything. And Farooq Bhai, you are also part of the team, so thank you so much for all the work you are doing, especially all the videos that you do throughout throughout this whole tenure in the last 4 years that you have participated in our events, and especially all the great work that the community work, the true community work that you all do, whether it's a video or even I remember Officer 786 that I know. Let's give a huge round of applause to the two amazing individual officers who are here representing the community, and then also you guys did. I think it was not. It's not out there yet, right? The Islamophobia. Yeah, it's not there, but inshallah, I know it's going to be out there as well too. But credit to you and your entire team for keeping us all, me, my colleagues, on our toes throughout this last 4 years, questioning us, even like questioning premier food, right? You know, so this goes to show your involvement. But I just want to say thank you. Keep up the great work. And I have a very good friend over here, Matt Baker from Ryerson University. I don't know if you know, but he is actually the person responsible for bringing Ryerson Medical School in Brampton. And can you please confirm it is coming, right? Because I know the opposition used to say a lot that there is no university, Ryerson University coming. But Muhammad Lashmi, who is the president of Ryerson University, and Matt have been working very closely. So it is true that there is a university coming. And I think the last medical university built in our province was in 1968.
Oh my God.
And after that, right? So around that time.
First one in 100 years in the GTA.
In the GTA. So that's so first medical university in GTA is coming. So credit to Ryerson. And this is exactly what Sharif, Deepak, I, and my colleagues in Peel region have been working on, is to bring all these things into our region so that our students and the future generation don't have to leave our province. All the work that we are doing, we always say this thing: government never creates jobs. Government always creates environment in order for businesses to come, in order for them to create jobs. So please, really appreciate from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for all your support, your love that you have shown us, and inshallah, hopefully we will continue the work that we started in 2018, and inshallah, really looking forward for your support. Council General Sahab, thank you so much for joining us as well too. Thank you for all the great work you are doing, especially for the Pakistani community, and thank you to the consulate office for doing such an incredible job and providing great service to the people right here in Ontario. So thank you for everything you are doing, and thank you again to everyone. Really appreciate. Enjoy the evening. Hopefully there will be some kahai and biryani for us to test. Take care. Thanks a lot.
ये बात बाद में बताएंगे आपको.
ये बात आपको बाद में बताएंगे.
Offline.
You know what I really liked about all these three guys when they came and talked about?
No, I don't know.
No? They all mentioned each other's name and saying that they are a team and they're all working together. So
Thank you very much. First of all, I must thank the Canadian Pakistan narrative, Aryan, Rana Saab, Nadia, and Shazan, and your team, because I have seen you working during the last few years, raising issues which so many people have in their minds, but you are the first to take the lead. And that's really very useful, and you have been asking right questions, and perhaps you have been asking right questions from the right people, and it's just amazing. I must also congratulate, of course, Khalid Rashid, Sharif Saab, and Deepak ji for their recent success in elections. Whenever any new team from any party is elected, we pin hopes with them, particularly as CT, I would say that we have so many hopes in the 75th years of diplomatic relations between Pakistan and Canada, that we will have more exchanges, we will have more and more people-to-people interaction, we will have more business delegations. In the next week, from 21st June onwards, a very serious international conference is being hosted by Ontario. It is coalition. It is the same subject which was being handled by Khalid Rashid earlier in information technology. And we are having a 20-member delegation from Pakistan for it. And I'm sure that so many interactions will emerge from it, because it is the area, at least, in which Pakistan has some edge in exports. Recently, Pakistan has been one of the most important emerging markets in terms of IT exports, and we also know that during the last 3 years or 4 years, rather last 8 years, Toronto has also emerged as number 2 big place after Silicon Valley. and we are looking forward to that cooperation as well. Now coming to the other point that Rana Saab said, that I should highlight what we have plans for the rest of the year in the 75th year. Of course, this truck art guys are here, but some of you have really missed our fashion show. It was here last weekend. It was very well attended. People were standing behind. Seats were far less because we were not expecting so many people, and it really made the point that Pakistan is, as I said earlier, there is an ancient society. It's 5,000 years old tradition of colors and vibrancy. And Pakistan, I also said there, is a young nation. Young nation means that we have more than 64% people who are less than 30. Just imagine a room, how much energy will be in a room where there are 64 persons who are under 30 and the rest of us are up there. So, and that energy is in that country, and I'm sure with the new team in Ontario, we would be establishing better relations, we would organizing more exchanges, and we would take advantage of each other's positive points. Thank you very much.
एक हमारा ऐसा बंदा है जिसके बगैर मैं कहूँ ना कि हमारी टीम is totally incomplete. He's the backbone. He's a person who is always coming up with creative ideas, who is always coming up with some different things, जिनके साथ बैठ के हम बड़े जबरदस्त किस्म के जो है ना वो प्लानिंग करते हैं, और वो प्लानिंग को जो एग्जीक्यूशन तक लेके जाने के जिसका काम होता है ना, he is the guy. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Shazam Salim.
राना इतनी ऊपर से आता है कि बंदे की expectations बढ़ जाती है. Thank you very much, everyone. First of all, congratulations to all our MPPs over here for a great victory. ये जीत जो है पूरी community की है. It's not just your victory; it's all of our victory. And राना मैंने जब बताया कि backbone, तो हम तीनों ही backbone है. Basically, it's not just individual person. We all are team, and we all have individual responsibilities. मेरा background जो है वो it's mostly in the filmmaking. So my job is to tell the stories and tell the narratives and build the narratives. And that's where we come in, because sometimes what happens कि हमारी community का narrative दूसरी जो entire पाकिस्तान जो lobbies हो रही है basically उनके बीच में हमारा दब जाता है. And that's where my job comes in, that I have to tell the stories that nobody knows. And obviously then Rana comes in and help us with the social media, approach social media as well. And then we have a roster of bloggers and influencers who are working with us as well. So that's what we do. We tell the story. Besides that, I would just like to say one thing to our the winners over here. Okay, we know that the past few years have been very tough because of the COVID, and there are so many things that our MPPs haven't been able to do because there were a lot of restrictions. There were a lot of tough times to go into. So I just hope that whatever the things that were planned for the betterment of the community, which were not being able to execute because of the COVID, now we can see the results and the fruits for that as well. Thank you very much.
I know you all are desperately waiting for the food. Ask him now. So, talking about the Babaji, he's, as I said, he's a kind of a shelter. जिनके नीचे हम सब हैं. So we do have a Babaji in our CPN team as well. And how can I forget him? How can I miss him? Who is not even listening to me right now? The Babaji of our CPN, Mr. Farooq Siddiqui Saab, please come here and say a few words. And I always say he's the one who is basically promoting cricket here with a sports channel by the name of Sports Trend, bade tournaments and sari cheezein. So Farooq bhai, thank you.
Thank you very much. Once again, welcome everyone, and congratulations for all the MPPs, and special welcome to Patrick Brown. He's very close to my heart because he is generally working really hard to promote cricket. He has done a lot, and especially the new form of cricket, the tape ball with Mohammed. We are put a proposal for City of Brampton. So with that, I'm not going to take much time. I think food is almost getting ready. There's a lot of people who would like to thank everyone. So everyone, thank you very much to join us for tonight.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
पहले तो मैं आप सबको एक congratulation इस बात में कहना चाहूँगा कि जो ख्याल मेरे माइंड में आ रहा था when you read Martin Luther King, मैं कहा एक वक्त था कि हम कंजर्वेटिव पार्टी से बहुत भागते थे, तो माशाल्लाह से इतने सारे लीडर्स हैं. You know, when we look at the NDP party, Jagmeet Singh is up there, he's a leader of a federal, party का leader है, opposition है वो. तो one day I see कि जब conservative party के अंदर leader आएगा पाकिस्तानी community से, so you guys will be the pioneers of that. You guys will be the one जो इस पार्टी को उस हाथ तक लेके जाएंगे, क्योंकि देखिए जब टाइम आएगा जो लोग आगे राइज करते हैं उनको तो सब पहचानते हैं, बट यू गाइस आर द पीपल जिन्होंने वो रिस्क उठाया है अपने दोस्तों से, कम्युनिटी से, एक एक शख्स को 10-10 दफा एक एक बात को जाके समझाना, एक एक बिल्कुल ये रिस्क है क्योंकि अपनी कम्युनिटी में रहते हुए, क्योंकि इट्स वेरी इजी टू बी लिबरल. ठीक है ना, ये बड़ा ये गिवन फैक्ट है कि anybody can be liberal and you accept it right there. You guys are the one who actually took the risk for you, like, you know what, I am a conservative, I stand for what the party stands for, I see what's right, I see what's wrong, and I'm going to convince you. And that convincing has brought us here today. So congratulations to all of you for being the pioneers and being the forefathers of the leaders who are going to come forward next. So before we move forward, that's all I wanted to say. This is the point, inshallah, अब आगे federal elections आ रहे हैं. We had Nadeem Bhai representing us in a federal party. We're really proud of him for representing us, and I'm really hoping that we will see a lot more, Canadian or Pakistani origin के जो candidate हैं next election के अंदर. And this is how we're gonna become stronger. Right now we only have Khalid in a provincial party. I hope, मतलब जो हमारे जीते में, they stay where they are. But I want to see more of Pakistanis, Canadian Pakistani origin in provincial party as well. And inshallah now this is the time. और एक message यही है कि यहाँ से जब जाता है तो we talk about things. Elections 2 साल में आने वाले हैं. This is the time to join the federal conservative party, not when एक हफ्ते पहले कि जी मैंने election लड़ना है. This is the time to serve. This is the time to understand. So this is my message to the Canadian and Pakistani origins here. That please come forward. We need you. Please join the federal party right now. And this is where you're gonna make decisions. This is where you, क्योंकि पार्टी बताते खुद कुछ नहीं होती है. पार्टी में जो लोग होते हैं वही पार्टी होती है. अगर आप लोग पार्टी में होंगे तो फिर वही पार्टी होगी. So let's not sit back and behind and blame others. कि वो पार्टी ऐसी है, ये लोग ये कर रहे हैं, ये पार्टी में ये हो रहा है. Be part of the party, become a party yourself, and then whatever you are, that's what the party is going to be. So before we go for the food, I guess Rana साहब हमारे इतने distinguished, honorable लोग आए हुए हैं. If you want to get their comment for today, that would be great. We can start from one point. And
सबसे पहले तो बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया कैनेडियन पाकिस्तानी नैरेटिव का कि न सिर्फ इन्होंने इलेक्शन के दौर में अवाम को, पीपल को मोटिवेटेड रखा, इंगेज रखा, इलेक्शन के डे भी इंगेज रखा, एंड मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंटली वंस द इलेक्शन इज ओवर वी आर हियर टू सेलिब्रेट. सो क्रेडिट गोज टू देम. जैसे Aryan said, they could have invited maybe 300-400 people. It's not that issue, right? The issue is to celebrate on time, and as he said, these are the people, those who came to his mind at first. So Aryan, thank you very much for giving us the priority to be here and be part of this celebration. Aryan, Shazan और उमर साहब, आपका नाम भूल गया हूँ. नादिया. बोलिए. अच्छा, मैं सिर्फ 2 बातें कहना चाहता हूँ. पहली बात तो ये कि दिस टाइम जो लोग पाकिस्तान में फ्रूट की, फल की खरीदारी से वाकिफ है, वैसा ही कुछ इस मर्तबा वजीर आला डग फोर्ड साहब ने किया. ये दुकान पे खड़े हुए तो कहा जी दर्जन केले दे दो, आधा दर्जन किन्नू दे दो. दीपक साहब ने कहा मिसिसागा के 6 MPs जो है वो पीसी पार्टी के मेंबर बने, तो उन्होंने क्या आधा दर्जन किन्नू नहीं खरीदे? ऐसे ही हुआ. तो जहां उन्होंने चाहा सौदे किए, सौदे करते चले गए. दे मेड बिग मेजॉरिटी. दे वॉन द गवर्नमेंट विद बिग मेजॉरिटी. बट एट द सेम टाइम आई वुड लाइक टू एक्नॉलेज व्हाइल वी आर सेलिब्रेटिंग हियर that Sharif Sabawi, who won the election from the riding of Mississauga, Erin Mills, and that came to my attention that a mosque in that riding turned Sharif away from speaking at the Eid event. That made me feel very sad, and that made me feel very bad. And at least I can apologize on my behalf, if not the entire community. That should have not happened, and these incidents should not be tolerated in the community. I wanted to come out in public and speak about it. When we talked about it, my name got attached to many other things, but I said, this is our responsibility, that we need to stand up when the time is to stand up, not after the fact. So we stood for you
for the principle, and we wish you that it doesn't happen to you again, and community benefit from you, and there is no rivalry between yourself or the community. So once again, thank you very mumuch. Nadeem Akbar Katana साहब भी बैठे हैं यहाँ पर. We're all growing together. We're all growing together. Aryan Saab 4 years ago, fast forward 4 years now. Here we are supporting our community, supporting our candidates. Once again, thank you very much. And Rana Umar साहब बहुत शुक्रिया आपके खूबसूरत अल्फाज का. ये जो है वो डील का हिस्सा नहीं थे, लेकिन you went above and beyond. Thank you.
देखो, अगर हम एक दूसरे की हेल्प नहीं करेंगे और सपोर्ट नहीं करेंगे तो कौन करेगा? सोचने वाली बात है. सबसे पहले तो घर से ही हमेशा अगर खा के चलो तो दूसरा भी कोई पूछता है, तो इसको पूछता भी नहीं. तो हम हमेशा आपके साथ हैं.
Thank you so much.
माशाल्लाह, नो डाउट एक बहुत ज़बरदस्त आपका ये फोरम है और आप जो काम कर रहे हैं कम्युनिटी के लिए, और अब हम सबको कह रहे हैं कि दिस इज द टाइम टू कम फॉरवर्ड. सो आर यू कमिंग फॉरवर्ड फॉर दिस टाइम फॉर फेडरल इलेक्शन? एक क्वेश्चन है ना जी, क्या ख्याल है? आप सबको आना चाहिए जी अब्दुल भाई को? बिल्कुल जी, तालियां हो जाएगी सब. आप हमें कह रहे हैं, हम आपको भी कहते हैं कि आप भी आगे हैं.
बहुत शुक्रिया, थैंक यू वेरी मच. और किसी भी पॉलिटिकल एक्टिविस्ट की तो सबसे बड़ी ख्वाहिश यही होती है कि वो अपनी कम्युनिटी को हर तरीके से सर्व करे, और ये जो टू बिकम ऑफिस बेयरर इज अ वेरी बिग रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. तो इंशाल्लाह व्हेन द टाइम कम्स एंड इफ आई बिकम एबल टू सर्व और कम्युनिटी का साथ रहो तो डेफिनेटली विल कम फॉरवर्ड. अदरवाइज मैं आगे आऊँ ना आऊँ, आई एम ऑलवेज हियर फॉर द पीपल जो आगे आ रहे हैं, विल ऑलवेज बी विद देम.
कोई बात नहीं, माइक पकड़ने के बाद छोड़ते नहीं है, मौका नहीं छोड़ना. तो मेरी कुछ दिन पहले इनसे डिस्कशन हो रही थी कि हमारा एक बहुत प्रॉब्लम रहा है और हम लोगों ने हमेशा चाहा है कि हम एक कम्युनिटी सेंटर बना सके. पाकिस्तान कम्युनिटी सेंटर की बात कर रहा हूँ. उनके लिए मैंने इनको कहा, इनको दावत दी कि मिल के इसके ऊपर इनिशिएटिव लेते हैं. एक माशाल्लाह एक फोरम आपने बिल्ड किया है, और कांस्टेबल साहब आप भी यहाँ पे मौजूद हैं कि इस कोशिश को भी हम अब आगे लेके चलें. वो दौर चला गया कि जब हम लोगों ने इसकी कोशिश की थी पहले, तो अब मिल के अगर हम सब इसके लिए कोशिश करें, तो अगर इसी फोरम को यूज करना चाहें या आप इसको इनिशिएटिव लें और मिल के हम एक पाकिस्तानी कम्युनिटी सेंटर बिल्ड कर सकें, इसमें हम सबका फायदा है, हम सबकी सक्सेस है, हमारे आने वाली जनरेशन के लिए फायदा है. तो सब इसके लिए जो है ना जी, इनको पुश करें, ये आगे लगे हैं तो ये इनसे इंशाल्लाह करवाएंगे. बहुत शुक्रिया.
अगर मेरी ख्वाहिश है कि अगर राना साहब भी तशरीफ रखते हैं बाहर के, मेरी ख्वाहिश है कि अगर यंग जनरेशन में कोई पाकिस्तानी कम्युनिटी को रिप्रेजेंट करे तो अतर है. सो अभी मैं हल्का तो अनाउंस नहीं करता, बट इज ए फैकल्टी कैंडिडेट.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Second thing, my personal friend Shariq Swabi is here, and Khalid is here. Khalid, आप तशरीफ लाइए, एक मिनट तशरीफ लाइए. आपको याद है कि आपकी कंपेन अदर एरिया ने शुरू की थी?
जी बिल्कुल.
इसी कंपाउंड के पीछे आप
बिल्कुल
सिर्फ अदर एरिया की बात को, और तमाम दोस्त यहाँ बैठे हुए हैं, मेरे बच्चों की तरह हैं, बेटे बैठे हैं, बेटियाँ बैठी हुई हैं, माई फ्रेंड्स आर हियर, कॉन्स्टेबल सब बैठे हैं. मैं अदर एरियन की बात को बिल्कुल आगे बढ़ाऊंगा. मैट यू आर हियर, थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर द मेडिकल स्कूल. अदर एरियन की मैं एक बात को आगे ज़रूर बढ़ाऊंगा कि दिस इज़ द टाइम टू कम इनटू द फेडरल कंजर्वेटिव पार्टी. दिस इज़ द टाइम. 10 दिन पहले आना और कहना जी मैं फलानी जगह से इलेक्शन लड़ रहा हूँ, दैट इज़ नॉट ऑन. सो दिस इज़ द राइट टाइम टू ज्वाइन फेडरल कंजर्वेटिव पार्टी. एंड जहाँ तक कैनेडियन पाकिस्तान नैरेटिव की बात है, दिस इज़ वन ऑफ द वेरी यूनिक थिंग. लॉबिंग फॉर्म हमेशा मैं हमेशा ये कहता रहा हूँ कि पाकिस्तान की कम्युनिटी, पाकिस्तानी कम्युनिटी को अगर किसी चीज़ की कमी है तो लॉबिंग की कमी. वी डोंट हैव एनी लॉबिंग थिंग, एंड थैंक गॉड दैट दिस इज़ वन ऑफ द बेस्ट एंड फर्स्ट लॉबिंग फॉर्म इन कनाडा. एंड थैंक यू वेरी मच.
थैंक यू मलिक साहब, यू बीन अ मेंटर फ्रॉम द डे वन. जब से मेरा इस कम्युनिटी में इंट्रोडक्शन हुआ है, इट इज़ बिकॉज ऑफ इरफान मलिक साहब, क्योंकि मेरा बड़ा दूर दूर तक इधर ताल्लुक नहीं था, लेकिन जब मेरी इनसे मुलाकात हुई तो फिर मैं इस कम्युनिटी से दूर नहीं जा सका. क्योंकि बीइंग पाकिस्तानी, बीइंग कैनेडियन ऑफ पाकिस्तानी ओरिजिन, एट द एंड ऑफ द डे आप अंदर से कितने कैनेडियन हो जाएं, आप कितने कुछ हो जाएं, आपका चेहरा वही पाकिस्तानी है. एंड दैट्स व्हाट आई रियलाइज एंड दैट्स व्हाट आई लर्न बीइंग हियर, that you know what, we need to live here the way we want to live, but we need to learn from people, we need to respect people and mentors like मलिक साहब जो इतने लोगों को आगे लेके आए और हमारी जो लॉबिंग फर्म है उसका भी मकसद सिर्फ यही नहीं है कि to do the lobby, it's also to train people to come forward to lobby on their own behalf. और जैसे अभी अहमद भाई बात कर रहे थे कम्युनिटी सेंटर की, तो वो तो हर एक की एक दिली ख्वाहिश है यहाँ पे. अनफॉर्चुनेटली कुछ सर्कमस्टेंसेस रहे जो आपने कहा, लेकिन मेरी अपनी भी ज़ाती ख्वाहिश यही है कि हमारी कम्युनिटी फॉरवर्ड हो, हमारे लिए नहीं तो कम से कम हमारे बच्चों के लिए, हमारे लोगों के लिए, क्योंकि इट्स अ मैटर ऑफ प्राइड. यहाँ पे बहुत छोटी छोटी कम्युनिटीज़ हैं जिनके बहुत बड़े बड़े कम्युनिटी सेंटर्स हैं, और ज़रूरी नहीं है कि हमें ही कम्युनिटी सेंटर की ज़रूरत हो. जैसे एक G1 लाइसेंस की जब बात हो रही थी तो उसमें तकरीबन 20 लैंग्वेजेस थी, उसके अंदर उर्दू नहीं थी. तो वी वर द फर्स्ट, आई वाज द फर्स्ट वन हु स्टार्टेड कि भाई हमें G1 का जो लाइसेंस है वो उर्दू के अंदर होना चाहिए. तो जो स्टीवन डालुका साहब है मिनिस्टर ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्टेशन थे उस टाइम, तो वी वेंट थ्रू अ लॉट बैक एंड फोर्थ टू मेक श्योर कि उर्दू उसमें ऐड हो. तो बहुत सारे लोगों ने एक क्वेश्चन उस वक्त किया हमारी कम्युनिटी के अंदर कि भाई अगर आपको इंग्लिश नहीं आती तो आप कनाडा में क्या कर रहे हैं. तो मैं कहा भाई मैं तो यहाँ सारी उम्र रह चुका हूँ, मुझे तो आती है, मैं तो आपके माँ बाप, आपके बच्चों और सबसे बढ़कर आपकी डिग्निटी और प्राइड के लिए कर रहा हूँ कि जब सारी लैंग्वेजेस हैं तो उर्दू भी होनी चाहिए. इट्स अ मैटर ऑफ प्राइड फॉर अस, इट्स नॉट कि वी नीड दैट. तो इसी तरह कम्युनिटी सेंटर की हमें ज़रूरत नहीं है. हम जिम कहीं भी जा सकते हैं, हम बैंकेट हॉल भी जा सकते हैं, माशाल्लाह हम यहाँ भी मौजूद हैं, लेकिन हमारा एक फ़ख्र होना चाहिए, हमारा कम्युनिटी सेंटर होना चाहिए. और अगर आज हमारा कम्युनिटी सेंटर होता तो मेरी ख्वाहिश होती कि ये इवेंट हम वहाँ पे करते, ताकि पूरी कम्युनिटी का इवेंट होता, वो मेरा या CPN का किसी का इवेंट नहीं होता, क्योंकि वो हमारी कम्युनिटी की तरफ से एक स्टेप होता वेलकम करने के लिए. तो मुझे ये कमी सख्त महसूस होती है बीइंग अ पॉलिटिकल एक्टिविस्ट कि हमारे पास एक ऐसी यूनिफाइड जगह नहीं है जहां हम एज अ पाकिस्तानी किसी को इनवाइट करके अपनी शान शौकत, अपना प्राइड और डिग्निटी दिखा सके. तो इंशाल्लाह वन डे व्हेन द टाइम कम्स एंड विद एवरीबॉडी सपोर्ट वी विल हैव अ कम्युनिटी सेंटर.
मैं सिर्फ एक मिनट में दीपक आनंद साहब का जिक्र करना चाहूँगा. दीपक वाज माय फ्रेंड बिफोर ही बिकेम ए पॉलिटिशियन, रेडियो प्रोग्राम से. और दीपक आनंद साहब लाहौर के रहने वाले हैं, इसलिए जब नेक्स्ट टाइम आए तो लाहौर गुजरांवाला की तारीफ कीजिए.
बहुत शुक्रिया राना, थैंक यू वेरी मच. थैंक यू अतर, थैंक यू फॉर कॉलिंग मी हियर. दिस इज रियली नाइस ऑफ यू. और आई वुड लाइक टू कॉन्ग्रेचुलेट टू ऑल माय MPPs जितने भी हैं. बहुत बहुत मुबारक हो आप लोग आपकी विक्ट्री के ऊपर. मुबारकबाद देना चाहूँगा आपको, आपको एग्जिबिट करने के ऊपर मुबारकबाद देना चाहूँगा. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, मेरे तमाम दोस्तों का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया यहाँ पे आने के लिए. थैंक यू वेरी मच. Thank you.
First of all, I would like to congratulate all the MPPs, the newly elected. Lot of people congratulate you guys already, but I wanted to raise some issues what we are facing as Canadians. If you see, the crime rate in Ontario is going way high, and you see the carjacking, the break-ins, and other crimes rate as well. So whenever you guys have a meeting or assembly ijlas or whatever, right? So please work on these issues so we can feel safer as a community, Canadian community. And thank you very much, Rana Mer bhai, Atar bhai, and of course Shazan bhai. Thank you very much to bring all the community together. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I want to thank everybody, congratulate all the dignitaries for their election. Thanks again to the Canadian Pakistani narrative for hosting this. You guys are true pillars of the community. Thank you very much. And you know, Haroon and myself are always here to support you and the community at any time, whether it's questions about crime or anything, and we'll always be here for you.
Like he said, congratulations, and thank you for inviting us, and keep doing the great work you guys are doing.
Thank you very much. Congratulations to MPPs. That's the second term, and I am hoping that we will see more improvements here. Thank you very much, Patrick Brown. Come in, and I'd love to see you playing cricket, promoting cricket. As Baru said it, cricket is the blood in the Asian community, and actually I'm working with the Mississauga Dolphins Cricket Club for the last 8 plus years. We have 350 plus youth active members. We have about 6 to 7 teams in different leagues: Etobicoke League, Toronto District League, Brampton League, Mississauga League. But the problem is we are struggling. we are struggling to afford. We cannot afford all the expenditures goes from our own pockets plus the time. And I try to reach out to different dignitaries and the government representatives to support us. So as a policeman, I could see the more youth away from the streets, away from the negative activities, going into the grounds, playing whatsoever sports. It's taking away your brain, taking away your negative energy to transforming it to some way positive. And I learned everything from a cricketing ground, and that's what I see when I am promoting any sport, and especially cricket. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming here. Thank you very much. A round of applause for Canadian Pakistan narrative. You're always ahead of everybody.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for joining. Now, the moment of the night is the food is being served. In Punjabi, we say, "Khaba khul gaya je."